Here, I'm checking this dog out, okay? Christina comes over. Hey, what you got? Hey, what you got? And she starts feeding me. She plays this game of feed. All right, we're having fun, okay? It's much like you walking up to me, like I said earlier, and I start handing you $20 bills. Would you ever leave my side? No. Probably not, okay? So what if she did this every day for like a month? We just played this game, all right. And she's just feeding me one after another. Am I ever gonna leave her side? Probably not. Now, what if she was feeding me carrots? And I don't really like carrots. Now, where's my engagement? Not very good. But what if she's feeding me like chicken breasts or like pieces of steak or something? Man, I'm gonna be really engaged. Okay, I personally do this with my dog. These guys do the same thing with their dogs, okay? We constantly work on engagement. However, one of the things when we're working on engagement we have to do is sometimes we have to change our food up a little bit. If I just always use hot dogs, my dog is enthusiastic about it, but it gets kind of bored of it. So sometimes I go cheese, sometimes I go with chicken breast, sometimes I go with like little smokies. I mean, I'm constantly mixing it up. So my dog is never getting bored. He's always like, okay, I want to really. So after the night, if you find that your dog's really not engaged, there's two things you can do. One, you can withhold a meal. And you're probably thinking, wait a minute, why would I ever want to withhold a meal from my dog? That's disciplined, or that's negative to the dog. Okay, ask yourself this. A wolf in the wild, I'm not saying your dogs are wolves, but a wolf in the wild, does a deer show up to the den, lay in front of the den and say, eat me? Nope. Wolf wakes up in the morning and says, wait a minute, I'm hungry. My hunger is going to compel me to go hunt, to go learn, to go fight for my food, right? Same thing with your dog. If your dog is hungry, it's going to be more apt to learn, it's going to be more apt to be engaged with you. Does that make sense? Christine, can you turn off the heat? It's getting a little warm in here. Okay, so that's the first thing. We're going to work on that in a minute. The second thing we're going to talk about is a release. Okay? A release from behavior. Can anybody give me an idea what that means? Unless you took a lesson from me already. Excellent, that's excellent. So, anybody ever do timeout with their kids? Yeah. Okay, so if your kids got to choose how long timeout would be, how long would they choose? Zero, right? They'd be like, I love having kids in my class. I ask them the same question, and they look at me like I'm stupid. Like, why would I even want to even sit down? Okay? Your dog is much the same way. If you're out in your yard and you're asking your dog to do something, but there's other things the dog would rather be doing, most likely the dog's going to be like, hey, I'm tired of sitting, I want to go off, right? The dog breaks himself, or the dog leaves by himself. So in dog training, we have a beginning and an end to everything. If we ask the dog to do anything, it's a beginning of behavior. But there has to be a release to the behavior. There has to be the end to the behavior. I can't just sit my dog's sitting, and then I answer my phone. What would happen if I did that? Most likely my dog would just kind of get up and wander away, right? Because I disengaged from him. I was no longer engaged with him. He's thinking, okay, when nobody's engaged with me, I can just disconnect myself and wander off. So anytime you ask the dog to do something, there has to be an end to it. Does that make sense? I use my friend Christina here again. Okay, so there's two ways you can kind of engage with your dog, or release your dog. So Christina's going to do a little engagement with me. Boom. She has 10 treats in her hand. She's on the last treat. She can take a treat and she can toss it to her left. Or right, sorry, toss it to her right or left. Okay, she tosses it this way. I go get the treat. While I'm getting the treat, she can reload. She can already be down there, and we go back into engagement again. Okay, and she goes and engage. Now let's say her husband calls. Okay, free, and she can release. I go get the toy, or go get the food, sniff around, mom's done, okay, we're all done, okay? Either that, or you can say free, and get the dog to hop up a little bit and feed the dog, and then disconnect, okay? But everything has a beginning and an end. Does that make sense? Okay, any questions so far? Okay, so here's what I like to do. We're gonna divide the class in half. So I'm gonna have, from the Mastiff to the Boxer, you guys are gonna stay here, okay? I'm gonna have you guys stand up, spread out just a little bit, try to keep away from each other if you can. Pull out a good handful of food, and I just wanna see if you can get your dog to follow you with the food, Feed them, walk back a little bit, talk to them a little bit. I want to see you be a little exuberant with your dog and encourage them to follow the food, okay? I see he has a little bit of allergy. Is he on special food or anything? Oh, fleas, gotcha. Gotcha, all right. Well, I'm glad it's just that. There you go. What are you using for food, Dad? What do you got? Yeah, I would probably get some hot dogs with cheese next time. That'll make a huge difference, okay? And if you don't want to do hot dogs with cheese, get some chicken breast, something a little bit higher value. Okay, but at home he's obsessed with them. Here's a different scenario. Here there's so much more going on. Okay? Just try it next week and I see you'll see a huge reroll. Okay? Here, try not to move. Just start by feeding just one or two. Just see. Oh, good job. And make it a big deal. When next time he eats one or she eats one, all right. Good job. Good job. So, does she always have food down? Like, is there always food available for her?
No, she looks like it is.
Gotcha. She's getting food from somewhere excessively. Any idea where? Only 2 or 3 cups, nothing else? Oh, so they get 3 cups a day twice?
No. They get a cup and a half plus some chicken breast.
Okay.
In their food.
Let's talk afterwards, okay? I'll give you some ideas, okay? And this will help with food a lot, okay? How's she doing? Or he doing? She, sorry. Sometimes it's hard to tell. So one thing I would suggest is the moment you feed her one, have another one ready. Like have a good handful, like 5 or 6 in your pocket, and feed. Okay? Yes, good job. And I want you to make a big deal every time she eats a piece of food. All right. Okay. Good job. Okay, when you guys are ready, I'm gonna have you guys sit back down. All right. I'm gonna have you guys stand up, kind of spread a little bit. So you guys do the same thing. Take out a handful of food. See if you just get your dog to follow you a little bit. Talk to him a little bit. I want to see you encouraging him. Good. She likes to eat.
Oh, he loves it, yeah.
He loves to eat, sorry. In a minute, I'll show you how to feed him without losing your fingers.
That'd be great.
Good job. Oh, that's right. We couldn't get her to eat right off the bat, could we? How'd she do during the week?
Pretty good. Actually, if she was in an enclosed area with me, like in the house,
Yeah.
or something, she was like all over me.
Nice, okay. But she was eating better at home?
Yeah.
Gotcha, okay. Yes, she does. Here, do me a favor. Break some pieces up in little pieces for me. And I'll even use you as a demo for in a minute, okay? Good job. No luck?
He did better after he saw that, oh, look, all those dogs are getting treats. And then he's like, oh, okay, I'll take some.
Does he eat at home?
He's just not, I didn't give him his dinner before I left.
Okay.
Because I didn't want him to throw up. But, he likes these are specials.
Are they? Okay.
But he's just not somebody that's food motivated.
Okay. So one thing I might try is, next Monday, don't feed him breakfast, don't feed him dinner,
No breakfast either?
No breakfast or dinner either. Okay? He's a little bit heavy, to be honest with you. So, yeah, it's just a little bit, not too bad. And try some chicken breast. If you don't want to feed him hot dogs with cheese, get some chicken breast, cut them up, and I think you'll really like those.
Okay.
You gotta, do you have hot dogs? Okay. Probably don't feed him.
didn't bring them this time.
Okay, I would try hot dogs.
Okay.
And don't feed him breakfast or dinner.
He's doing better than he did before. Last time he was under the chair just by the whole time. The whole time he would have been.
That's right. I forgot. Well, you're doing better. Okay. Let's go and sit back down. So you guys did really good. I know it's kind of not a huge building. We kind of crammed in here a little bit. But you guys did really good. I'm going to show you guys something really quick. So if you're having difficulty with keeping your fingers when you're feeding your dog, watch this young man for a minute. Can I use you for a minute?
Yep.
Okay. So ask yourself this. If you were in a windstorm and your partner tried to hand you $100, would you snatch it out of their hand or would you just take it gently? You snatch a hand. Why? Because you don't want it to disappear, right? Dog is much the same way. If they see food, okay, they're going to take an opportunity. They don't want that food to go anywhere, so they're just going to grab it. So that's why a lot of times the higher the food drive, the more the dog sees the food and says, hey, I want to grab it. So watch what this young man's going to do. Do you have a bunch of little pieces?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to feed him, and when you feed him, I want you to push it into his mouth. Like almost like you're giving him a pull. There you go. Be a little aggressive. Okay, do it again. He's going to do this 5 or 6 times in a row. A little bit harder next time. Almost like you're trying to push it right in. Good. Good. Keep going. Oh, reload. Good. Okay, another time. Okay, now hand him one like you normally do. Do you notice the difference? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what we're doing is we're doing opposite reflex. So we take the food and if we push it into the dog's mouth 10, 15 times, the 16th time, what is the dog expecting? Exactly. Then the dog says, I don't need to lunge forward and grab it. I just need to take it gentle. And then the moment the dog takes it gentle, we mark that. Oh, good. You know, whatever marker word you want to use, you use yes, good, whatever it is. And we tell the dog that's what we want to do. Then we go back and we probably do it 5 or 6 times, pushing the food in the mouth. It's not punishment. We're just teaching the dog it does not have to lunge and eat our fingers, okay? The other way you can feed your dog, can use you for a minute. My hands don't do this. She's going to help us out. So she has a little piece of Charlie Bear here. Yeah. She's going to take it and she's going to put it in the palm of her hand. She's going to take her thumb, hold it over, and the dog is actually going to eat right out the corner of the thumb and the palm there, okay? Almost like you would feed a horse. Okay, if you feed a horse with your fingers, you're going to lose your fingers. Feed him with the open hand like this, you're going to keep your fingers. Same concept, okay? I kind of like the way this young man did it because it actually teaches the dog not to take your fingers. However, if you have difficulty, you can also do it open fist like that. Okay, so we talked about engagement and we talked about the release. Okay, now we're going to teach your dog how to sit and down. Has anybody tried this already? How to teach a dog to sit down already? Okay. Have you tried to do it without sitting first? You have? Okay. Any luck? Okay. Anybody else have any luck on that? Somewhat? Okay. So I really want to encourage you to not do sit and down. And a lot of people say, well, wait a minute. It's easy to do sit and down, but it actually confuses the dog. Imagine your partner asking you to go do dishes. Instead, you paint the house. Would that confuse your partner? Okay, it kind of confuses your dog too. Sit and down are 2 different muscle memories. They're no different. They're the same thing as asking your dog to go get a ball. Instead, the dog goes and takes a pee or something like that. It's 2 different muscle memories. But people always say, well, wait a minute. How do I get my dog to down the correct way? So in our minds, if we get the dog to sit their butt down, well, now we just have to get the rest of them down. So that's why people do sit and then down. So I really want to encourage you not to. Okay, here's how we do it. Can I use you for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show you with this young man here, and if his dog does good, then I'm going to have you guys all do it. If the dog does bad, then we might have to kick him out of class. Come on out here for a minute. Okay, can you hold this dog for him? So she's going to hold the leash just for a second. Easy. There you go. Okay, so the reason why I'm going to use this dog is 1, I know this guy is very nimble and move around. 2, I know the dog loves to eat. These are 2 good characteristics. Okay, do me a favor. Take a knee for a minute. Okay. What's going to happen is the dog is going to be on this side. Okay, it's gonna be on this side of the leg. Hold on one second, Christina. You're gonna have food in your right hand. Okay, you're gonna put your leg forward a little bit. Actually, you're kind of tall. Can you sit all the way in your bum for me?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, put your legs straight out. Okay, bend your knee, put your legs together. Bend your knees, bring them up a little bit. There you go. Okay. Now, since the dog's on that side, you're gonna put food in your left hand. Put your legs together, knees together. Okay, put your hand all the way underneath your legs with the food in it, and bring it down lower. Keep it low, and bring it this way. Bring it this way, and stop. And feed. Excellent. See what he just did? He just taught his dog to down without forcing the dog, without pushing the dog, and the dog did it on its own. Okay, let's do it again. So a key point to this is, do you notice I'm telling him not to tell his dog down? I didn't tell him to say down. You guys get 1,000,000 points if anybody can tell me why. Any idea why we're not using down yet? Okay, so let's watch again. Is his butt up in the air right now? Or was it up in the air? Yeah. If he told the dog to down when its rear is in the air, he's telling the dog the incorrect behavior. The correct behavior is my body drops all the way down. I don't keep any part of it up. So we first teach the muscle memory before we put a command to it. When this dog can do it like right away, then we'll put a command to it. See, the dog still has a, stop. Good. So once you see the body starting to drop, stop moving your hand this way, okay? And then the moment the dog's body drops, I really want you to make a big deal, like you're like, all right, okay, let's try it again. So part of the problem with having like little short leg style dogs like this, they can crouch really easy and keep their body up. So he's got to be patient and wait for the dog to drop its whole body before. Wait, not yet. Not yet, not yet. Don't move it anymore, please. There you go, feed. So when he tucks his legs under, then he's good. Okay? So let's, and then, yep, release. Okay, we'll do it one more time. Now I'll tell him when to tell the dog to down. So when I say down, you say down. Okay? Keep your hand really low. Keep your hand low. Okay, wait, not yet, not yet. Keep it right there for a second. Don't feed him anything yet. Not yet, not yet. Oh, try it again. Keep your knees together if you're able to. Thank you. Okay, keep going, and stop. Not yet.
Not yet.
Now say, oh. I thought he was going to offer it. Oh, okay. So we're all going to try this in a moment, but he's going to have to be a little bit patient and make sure, one of the things he's got to make sure he doesn't do is feed the dog too much before the dog downs, because the dog is still crouching getting fed. So technically he's telling the dog that 2 + 2 = 8. Okay? It equals 4 when the dog's body does exactly what he wants to do, and then he rewards for it. Does that make sense? Okay. Most of you guys are really good. I'll show you one thing with the little dog here in a minute as soon as this young man's done. If you have a small dog, or you can knock it down to your dog's level, what you can do. Can you go grab me a pipe, please? Yes, there it is.
There it is.
Good job. All right, can you sit back down for me? You did really good. Good job. Who's growling? He needs a hug. Can I use your dog in a moment? Can we use your dog for a minute? Okay. So let's say you have some difficulty getting your dog to down, or actually we should use a big dog, but watch this. If you guys are alive during the 60s, you'll remember this game. Not that I do, well, won't go there. Okay? So what you're going to do is, there you go, you're going to step over that. There you go. Okay, you're going to go under, you got it. And wait, let it nibble a little bit just to reinsure. Pull there you go, and stop. Good, and feed. Okay, so you guys can use a broomstick, you guys can use sometimes a chair, anything to kind of teach the behavior. Good, and free. Excellent, thank you, ladies. That's good, that's a little bit too much. Let's try with the Mastiff.
Yeah, I was wondering how.
Yeah, actually we should have told you how to use the legs and see what happens. Okay, you know what? While they're doing this, if you guys want to try it right now, let's see you guys work on the down by yourselves. Nice, good job. Have you done this already? You got it really quickly, good job. you're gonna have to lay a trail with this dog. Okay, let's start over again. Okay, keep it low to start off with. Bring it down right there, okay? Mom, do me a favor, you're gonna lay a trail. So drop one.
Like right here?
Right there, yep. Tap it a little bit, show him there. Good, drop another one right outside of his reach. Drop another one right outside of his reach. Okay, and just wait. Stop right there. It's okay. Stop the food for a minute. Stop. Okay, lift up the bar, let him out. Good, try it again. Try it a little bit lower. A little bit. Christina, bring it down just a little bit. There you go. Okay, Mom, stop for a minute. Let him sniff it. Let him nibble a little bit. Almost. Christina, bring your side up just a little. There you go. Okay, almost. Okay, stop, Mom. Stop. And feed. Good job. We'll talk about throwing a party in a minute. Good job. Okay, so see the dog's butt is already down? Yeah, try to do this from standing. Good job. Good job. Try it again.
It's kind of funny because I'm kind of too short. Come here.
If he's eating, you can try the bar when she's done. Oh, good. Almost. Okay, keep your hand lower. Awesome. Good job. That worked really well. Good job. All right. Good job. Good start.
What did you try?
I'm trying to do
She knows.
Good job. So the moment the butt tucks under, say yes and feed him. Like really mark that. Good job.
So is there no acknowledgement or reward or talking? I mean, she does it. She gets the food.
Okay.
But I'm not saying down, I'm not saying good.
When the dog can do it within seconds of your hand going down, then you pair a command to it. Okay, so right now if the dog's kind of slow and still kind of going down slow, don't pair a command to it.
The reward is the food only. Verbal reward is not.
No.
Okay.
I can tell your dog's getting in your bag there. There you go. I can tell my dog all day long, good job. Okay, that's a value of $1 to him. If I feed him, that's a value of 500. So if I'm going to ask him to work for me, I need to pay him 500. Because if I only pay him $1, his mood towards working is not going to be the same. Good job. How's she doing? Good. Nicely done. Can she do it from a stand though? She was gonna. Good job. Here, try something for me. Forget your leg from it. Stand up. Take some food out for a second. I want you to lead her. So put the food in front of her, lead her backwards. Now go right underneath her front feet and say down. Right underneath the front feet. There you go. That's the way she needs to do it. She's a little bit further beyond most of these dogs. So I would. Good. Here, watch this. Do that again. Have a good amount of food in your hand. This time, bring your hand about 3 inches from the ground. So same thing. Lead the dog back when he's standing, and then do it down. And wait. Good. So this time, have your hand about 3 inches above the ground, like right there, and see if the dog offers it. So start over.
She'll do it?
Yeah, see if she does it, and then you can start. It's a way of start weeding your hand out of it. Okay, down.
Down.
Okay, wait. Nope. Start over. Okay, maybe about only 2 inches.
Down.
There you go. It's gonna take a little bit, but you can get her to. You'll be able to stand there and say down. She'll do it. Yep. Okay. Are you okay? Okay. Sure.
It's like I'm crying.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. I shouldn't get down on my knees.
Let me know if you need anything, okay? Hang in there. Sure.
to do it? Okay.
So you get on the other side.
No, take this underneath.
Okay, lay one right there. Okay, drop one right. Okay, drop one right there. And then drop another one right outside of his reach. And drop another one right outside of his reach. And stop. Stop it there. Stop there. Almost. Almost. Oh, so close. Wait. Wait. And feed. Good job.
Good job.
You definitely need something a little higher, more value.
Oh, more higher value.
Yeah, something.
Okay.
Something besides those great treats.
Okay.
I'm gonna buy hot dogs.
Okay, you want to try some cheese today?
Okay.
We can trade you.
I'm gonna try hot dogs.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. Leave a little trail like this one.
Okay.
There you go.
Takes a family to train a dog.
No, But it doesn't embarrass us, please.
It's all right.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Good job.
Now tell her your job. Tell her what? Free?
Don't forget from the behavior. We
Oh, yeah.
talked about that. Otherwise,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Let's go and sit back down, then we're going to move on.
All right.
Okay, so my lovely colleague brings up a really good point. A lot of people ask me, well, why don't we use the word okay? Okay is something we use too much in our daily verbiage anyways with our dog, and so we don't want to use it with our dogs. If I put my dog in a down and somebody says, hey, do you want something? I say okay, and my dog jumps up, guess whose fault it is? It's my own fault. So you don't have to use what verbiage I'm telling you to use. You can use anything you like. In fact, one of my clients one time years ago used colors. Sit meant red, down meant black, blue meant come, okay? I teach my dog in German, so do these guys. I do it for two different reasons. One, when I go to schools and I'm giving a demonstration for kids think, oh wow, he speaks German. And two, I do it to impress women. That's it, okay? My dog does, a lot of people say, well, wow, your dogs are from Europe. Your dogs must understand German better. They don't, okay? They don't. If I taught them pickles and sit, and they know they're gonna get a reward, I guarantee if I said pickles, they'd sit down. However, the consistency is what makes a big difference. It's simple mathematics. 2 + 2 is always 4. So if you guys have anybody at home that's gonna work with your dog, two things that need to happen. One, you need to become the teacher and show them exactly what to do and what not to do. And two, you have to have the same verbiage, or they have to have the same verbiage you do. It's not fair. And you're thinking, well, wait a minute. Okay, my husband says come on and I say come. My dog should understand the difference. It doesn't understand the difference. We are teaching the dog that 2 + 2 = 4. The answer is always 4, okay? There's another concept I want to kind of throw at you. I know I'm giving you guys a lot of information very quickly, but it's called throwing your dog a party. Can anybody tell me what that might mean, or why we may do that? Any ideas? Reward, okay, okay. Let me ask you this. If you've ever had a job, or you currently have a job, if your boss comes up to you and lays $100 on your desk and walks away, or just gives it in your check, what would you think?
That's a good job.
Okay, probably what did I do and I want to do it again, right? Okay, I'd be the same way. If my boss gave me extra $100, I'd be like, hey, I don't know what I did, but I want to do that again so I can get another one, okay? Yes, I like my weekly or my bi-weekly paycheck, but I also like, hey, sometimes a bonus is nice. So a good example is this young man here with his dog. His dog was doing the behavior. His dog was going underneath, offering the down. Wasn't quite what we wanted. The moment his dog tucked its legs underneath and the dog offered the correct down, I should have told him to feed his dog 5 or 6 treats in a row. Then the dog starts reasoning. The dog says, wait a minute, I like 1 or 2 treats. When I do this, I get 1 treat, but wait a minute. When I did this with my body, I got 5 treats in a row. It's called throwing your dog a party. So let's say you're working with your dog, and your dog's just kind of getting it, but all of a sudden, boom, it offers this exactly what you want the dog to do. You throw it a party. You feed it 5 treats in a row. You don't feed it 5 treats at one time. If you feed it 5 treats at one time, it's 1 bite to the dog. If you feed it 1 after, and then pause, 1, pause, 1, pause, 1, pause, it's a higher reward to the dog. Does that make sense so far? Yes. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, so the last thing we're going to work on is sitting. Does anybody's dog does not know how to sit yet? Okay, pretty much sitting is pretty easy, right? We realize, hey, if we hold a treat above the dog's head, the dog naturally sits. However, there's 2 things I want you to work on. I'm going to use my friend Christina here. One of the issues we have when we teach the dog to sit. Now remember, I am showing you what I would want my dog to do. If you guys are okay with your dog sitting and then downing, it's your dog. If you're okay with how your dog is going to sit in a moment, it's your dog, okay? My job is to show you the best I can. Your job is to take that information and apply it accordingly. So one of the things I see with people when they teach a dog to sit is pretty simple. They bring the dog over the treat over the dog's head, and the dog backs up and sits. But where is the dog sitting? Away from you, okay? I am under the impression that the dog should always work harder for us than we would work for them, okay? Why should I chase my dog in order to go put the leash on him? If my dog wants to go for a walk, why? My dog should come all the way to me in order to put the leash on and go for a walk. Okay, so if you call your dog and you want your dog to sit so you can put the leash on, what good is it if the dog sits back here and you have to go forward? Plus, we want to get the dog to sit quickly. A lot of dogs know how to sit, but they sit really slow. Okay, so what Christina's going to do is she's going to start with a little bit of engagement. Okay, boom, I engage. She's going to suck her hands close to her body and slowly up her body and get me to sit close. Okay, we don't want to take the food away from the nose. The nose is like a joystick. So if my nose goes up her body, my butt's going to tuck up underneath. You have to imagine it. Actually, grab Sally there, would you please?
Jolie.
I change her name weekly.
We know. We're here, Jolie.
Sorry, jeez. I'm going to get fired from my own job, okay? So if this was her puppy, she would hold a hand. She would want the dog to sit right there. That's where her hands would be, okay? She doesn't want to take her hands away from her body and get the dog to sit away from her, okay? Back there, we want to get the dog to sit close, okay? So you're going to start with a little engagement, and when your dog's really engaged, you're going to bring your hands close to your body, suck them up your body, and get the dog to sit, okay? Yes, thank you.
Ta-da! Here we go. You bring the dog in and
Okay, let's see you guys try that. So we're going to stand up, do a little engagement. If your dog is engaged, then let's see if you guys can get the dog to sit. Christina, can you put that on? 2 minutes. Good job. Sit. Okay, bring it up a little bit high, just a little. Oh, too high. Bring there down a little bit. Try to get a nibble a little bit.
Put up. Put up. Put up. Sit. See, she fine.
Okay. The reason being is you've taught her 2 + 2 = 8. Okay, she's been rewarded for this so much that now it's kind of confusing to her. So it may take some time to get her to sit close.
Should I get close to her?
No, that doesn't teach her anything. However, if you're happy with her sitting there, that's perfectly fine. Okay, it's going to take some work. However, hold on.
See, she takes steps back.
Can I pick on your husband for a minute?
Yeah, of course.
Are you mad at her? Here's how you say, sit, sit. I wouldn't want to sit close to you either, right? You're not very inviting. So change your voice a little bit. That'll help a little bit too. I understand it's kind of your temperament, your personality, and your culture. Let's take a breath. Okay, there you go. Keep trying. Any luck?
No, she's not interested. People are food.
Not interested? Good job. Good job.
Mine, I just keep working on it, just bring it in. He sits,
See
but
if-
he'll sit like a foot away.
Gotcha. Is he okay? I heard him bark at somebody.
He's just barking there. That's
He,
one of their issues.
he's the one that bit the FedEx guy. That's why we're here.
Gotcha.
Because of how he acts with strangers.
Gotcha.
Just bark.
So one thing you guys can do before you guys leave, they'll be sitting over there, load them with food, and just walk up and just hand them food and feed them. Make it a positive situation.
When? Who?
When you before you guys leave,
Yeah.
they'll be have them feed them a little bit, okay?
Okay, and we'll just feed them until they get used to being around us.
Okay. Hey, do me a favor. Free her for a minute. Free her for a minute. Okay, jump back and say free right now. Jump back, free. Yeah, there you go. And feed her for that. There it is. Either that or toss a piece of food or drop a piece of food. Okay. It's hard to teach because there's not sit. It's a physical action the dog is doing. It's really easy, right? But free, we're just trying to get the dog out of that stationary behavior. Okay, well, whether you jump back and say free and walk back a little bit and when the dog gets up, or take a piece of food and toss it away from you, or if you have a ball or toy, you can toss a ball and say free. Okay, do me a favor for a minute. Sit down for a second. Okay, sit at the edge of your chair. Okay, put your legs straight out. Okay, open them just a little bit. Sit back in your chair. Okay, now get her to come through your legs. Get her to come through your legs.
Under here?
Yeah. Go around between your legs. Okay, encourage her with the food. There you go. Encourage her with the food. Okay. Try this at home with her, okay? But try doing it sitting down, like leaning back, and see if you can get her sit closer, sitting down.
Got it.
Okay, that'll. Okay. Sorry, I know we got off a little off kilter there. All right, so let's talk about what we covered tonight. So what's the first thing that we covered? You're gonna get a quiz next week, so it's really important. I hope you know it by the end of this hour. Engagement, okay? What is engagement? Oh, you want me to talk? You want me to talk to her for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Getting the dog open, ready to learn. Right, that door's locked.
That's right.
And if you're from Ashland, you can say you're opening your dog's chakra. You're getting your dog ready to receive, okay? Okay, and then what's the second thing we learned? The F word, the release, the free. It's a one F word that I want to encourage you to use with your dog, not the other F word you're thinking about, okay? And then we worked on teaching your dog to down. Okay, we want to make sure the dog is offering the correct behavior before we put a command to it. I know that's kind of backwards thinking what here in America we're taught a lot, but trust me, if you teach your dog, you get your dog to do the right behavior before you put a command to it, I guarantee your dog's going to firmly understand and clearly understand what it is that you want them to do, okay? And then we worked on sit. Most of your dogs know how to sit already. I think if you implement a free command to their sitting, you'll get a much more consistent sit, a faster sit, and a clearer sit with them. We just try to get the dog to sit a little bit closer and also just a little bit quicker. Your quickness is going to come through engagement. The more the dog's engaged, the quicker the dog is going to be. Yes?
What did you mean by implement free with the sit?
So if you ask your dog to sit, free them, and then do another sit, or free them and jump back and then do another sit. So implement a sit between each free. Not too many times. Our dog comes to the kitchen, we ask them to sit, we feed them, dog gets fed, and then they just kind of wander off. Why? Because the dog thinks when I get fed, it's the end of behavior. I want you to start asking your dog to sit. I want your dog to sit until you say free, and then they learn, hey, I need to wait here. One of the things we'll cover in week 3 is stay. I don't believe in a stay command. Stay is redundant. We'll talk about it in week 3. But if you start implementing the free command and you're clear with it, when we reach week 3, you'll already be ahead.
And what do you want us to do if we have the dog in a sit and we haven't sit free yet and they get up? How do we
That's a really good question. I like these questions. So if you ask your dog to sit and your dog just gets up, you need to make a mental note of that. You need to say, okay, after I fed my dog got up right away next time, okay? Ask your dog to sit, feed the dog and say free right away. Don't ask for any duration. Don't feed him and then expect him to wait there. feed them, all right, free right away. And then as the dog starts understanding, okay, I should stay here until I hear free, then you can start expanding and asking for more. That's a really good question.
Yeah, because I would have thought kind of the opposite.
Yep, that's a really good question. Okay, so a big thing comes up a lot of times. How often should I work with my dog? Okay, this is not a guaranteed number for everybody. Me personally, I probably work with my dog twice a day for 5 minutes at a time, maybe 10 minutes at a time. As my dog gets older, I'm getting ready for trials. We three compete with our dogs. The closer we get ready for trials, sometimes we'll push the dog a little bit more, ask for a little bit more, longer duration. But for you guys, if you guys can do 3 times a day, 5 minutes, no more than 5 minutes, I guarantee you're gonna get way more out of it. It's much like if we had a child in class that's like 10 years old, and I asked the child, would you want to go to school for 14 hours? The child would look at me like I was crazy, right? Okay, but if I said that, hey, do you want to go to school for only an hour? Of course, the child would be okay with that, right? So if you make your training session so long and it gets boring or redundant to the dog is going to lose engagement, the dog's not going to want to do it, and you're going to kind of shoot yourself in the foot. Okay? Any questions before I let you guys go? Okay, you did really good. I will see you guys next week. Of course, we are going to skip Christmas, so it'll be next week, and then what's the date? I don't have
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Thank you. So I'll see you guys for 3 weeks, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll pick it up after Christmas. Okay? If you guys have any questions, stay in your seat. Yes. Oh, that is. We'll have to talk. That's a good question. So we'll have to talk about New Year's Day. Week 3, we'll talk about if you guys want to skip New Year's Day, or if you guys are going to be in town, we can meet. I don't have much of a life, so I have no problem being here. Okay, so when you guys leave, please make sure you don't all leave at once. Be safe. If you have any questions, stay in your seat. If not, I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we are gonna get started. I think we're still missing 1 or 2 dogs, but hopefully they'll meander in. So, welcome. How are you guys? Are you guys super nervous? Because you are. So, don't be nervous, okay? One of the things I encourage people to do is always remind yourself that if you are stressed and you're emotional, your dog's gonna be stressed and emotional. If you can find a way to kind of relax yourself and make this a positive experience, it'll help your dog quite a bit, okay? The good news is your dogs are already perfectly well trained. Does that confuse you a little bit? You're thinking, wait a minute, I thought I'm signing up for obedience so I can teach my dog. Well, think about it this way. Do your dogs lay down to sleep? Okay, did you have to teach them to lay down to sleep, or did they do it on their own? Okay? I guarantee your dogs know how to put their butt down. This dog right here is already sitting, and he's never had to be told that, right? Or be taught that, okay? So, dog training is all about, hi guys, how are you? It's okay. I'm gonna put you right down. This young lady is gonna follow this young lady right here. So you can grab you a chair. Okay, so dog training is all about simple communication, okay? We don't really have to teach the dog how to do anything. Your dogs already know how to do it already, okay? We have to communicate our wishes to the dog. So a lot of people already say, well, I'm the one that needs to be trained. You're absolutely correct. We are the one that needs to be trained. We have to be trained how to communicate with dogs. Okay, so a lot of people call me up and they say, Jason, what is your training based on? Or what kind of training are you? And in dog training, we have 2 different types of trainers. We have positive reinforcement, then we have negative reinforcement. There's also balanced trainers, which is a kind of mix between both. I would kind of say I'm probably that. A balanced trainer is one that believes that sometimes the dog does make the incorrect choice and there needs to be a negative consequence or negative reinforcement. But my training is based on positive reinforcement. In other words, I want you guys to have a relationship with your dog. A lot of people say, well, Jason, my dog won't come to me. I said, okay, what are you doing with your dog? Well, it's in the yard and I say come and it doesn't come to me and I go yell at it. And I chase after it and I grab it and I shake it and I say, come. So then I said, okay, well, put your dog in that situation, okay? Or put yourself in that situation. If I came at you, grabbed you, yelled at you, and said come, would you like the word come after that? Probably not, right? However, if every time you came up to me, I handed you $20, would you ever leave my side? Right? Probably not, okay? So, a lot of people have a misunderstanding about food. They feel that, well, if I use food, I will always have to rely on food. And this is not true. Now, you can use it incorrectly, and yes, your dog can be reliant on it. Okay, hold that thought for 1 second. Hi, how are you?
Sorry, I'm late.
I'm going to put you right here. Just scoot your chair for just a little bit, okay? Good job. Okay. So if you use food the incorrect way, yes, your dog can become reliant on it. Okay? So what I mean by this is, have you guys ever played the slot machine? Anybody ever played a slot machine before? Okay. How does a slot machine keep us there? We already know sitting at the machine we're probably going to lose, right? But why do we do it?
In case you win. You want to do it.
In case you win. However, it's not just in case you win. What if you only won $1? Would you sit there for 3 hours? It's a chance of winning a big prize, right? It's a chance of winning maybe a jackpot, maybe the $100 or the $300. It keeps us there. That's kind of how using food for dog training works. Okay? We start off by paying the dog all the time. It's like you sitting down the machine. Every time you pull that lever, you won $1, you won $5. You probably wouldn't leave that machine. But after about 5 or 6 hours, you're like, oh, I'm only winning $5. Well, what if that chance of winning $5,000 was there? You would keep doing it. Okay, so we in the beginning stages we use food for everything. We're teaching behaviors, and then as the dog does better, as the dog learns a behavior, learns our communication, then we start varying the food. So we'll ask the dog to do 1 or 2 things, and they get rewarded. Then we'll ask the dog to do 5 or 6 things, and then the dog gets rewarded, and then we vary that. So the dog really never knows when the paycheck is coming, but they know the paycheck is coming. Does that make sense? Okay, so, and did everybody receive, let me start with a question. Did anybody not receive an email from me, a confirmation email? You did not, okay. So I apologize. I'm not picking on you if I mentioned something that you did not see. So in my email, did you guys get an understanding of what was really important in regards to treats? I think I made some suggestions there. Lots of, okay. A good plethora, okay. But I also mentioned certain types of treats. You guys remember that? High value, hot dogs. So people ask me, well, Jason, why can't I just go to the store and just get store-bought treats? Okay, store-bought treats are probably fine in your home environment and probably for a dog that really likes to eat. However, if we have a dog that is kind of stressed, like this dog here, he's a little stressed in this environment, okay? If we have a dog that does not have a natural food drive, in other words, the dog is not really energetic to eat, okay? If we use a higher value food, that can change the picture. In other words, if you went to work tomorrow and your boss said, hey, I can only pay you $2 an hour, but you were getting paid $35 an hour, would you quit your job and find a new job? Most likely you would, right? But what if your boss came to you and said, hey, I'm going to give you $75 an hour? Then would you quit your job? Nope, I wouldn't either, okay? So that's one reason why I want to encourage you guys to use something more than store-bought treats. It does not have to be hot dogs. It does not have to be cheese. They're merely just suggestions. But what I do want you guys to use is something that is not normally what they get, something high value, and something they can take 2 chews and get through. In other words, if your dog takes 10 chews to get through a treat, it's probably not the treat that we want to use for training. On an everyday basis, just to treat your dog, that's perfectly fine. But we want a value and something that the dog can chew through very quickly, okay? Plus, it helps our learning curve. Science tells us that we have 2 seconds to 3 seconds, anywhere between 2 to 3 seconds and 2 to 3 seconds to reward for a behavior, okay? So if I ask my dog to sit, and it takes me 10 seconds in order to mark and reward that behavior, my dog's not going to necessarily coincide why he got that reward. If my dog sits and I reward him within 2 seconds, boom, now he starts coinciding, wait a minute, when dad said this, my butt did this, and I got a reward. Now the dog starts learning, oh, this is what you want me to do. So if I gave him a treat that took 10 chews to get through, guess what? I'm going to take my learning curve. I want to increase my learning curve. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's a little preview of what we're going to go over. So let's talk about some ground rules about being in class here. I have a no sniffing policy. Okay, that also goes for your dogs. Okay, I always start with that stupid joke. I use it every class. These are my friends here. I'll introduce in a moment. They're probably thinking, okay, I know it's coming. Okay, I do that for a couple different reasons. One, I want to kind of lighten things up. But two, it's actually a really serious. It's a really serious thing. So the dog that may be next to you that your dog is sniffing, you maybe think, oh, I want to let my dog kind of sniff that dog. That dog may be here because it's not good with other dogs. Okay, so we want to make sure that all dogs are safe and all dogs are in a good, healthy situation. So one thing you guys can do is if you're having some food, just kind of feed them a little bit, redirect them a little bit, that'll help, okay? A lot of people call me up and say, Jason, I want to take a group class because I want to socialize my dog. You do not have to let your dog play with other dogs in order to socialize. This is one of the biggest misunderstandings I think we have in America with socializing our dog. A lot of people take their dogs to the dog park. If you do take your dog to the dog park, I apologize now. I'm not trying to be harsh, but I am really anti-dog park, okay? There's a couple different reasons, but one, the main reason, it really puts your dogs in an unhealthy situation. So right now, your dogs are socializing. Just learning how to work and function and being able to be in the same room is socializing, okay? If you did not hear me first, there is a restroom right over there by the vacuum. By all means, please, if you need to go. If your dog needs to go, there is a little dirt area between these two buildings here. By all means, step out anytime and take your dog out. If your dog has an accident, you just go in the bathroom, grab some paper towels, and do whatever you need to do, okay? Let's talk about collars. I think everybody's pretty good, actually. This is my first class in a while that not everybody's barking exciting, so I think you guys are really good. One of the things I will talk about is prong collars really quickly. So this dog here is borrowing a prong collar. If you have a problem with, let's say, bring your dog into class and your dog's pulling a lot, or you have a problem with walking your dog down the street right now and your dog's yanking you, yes, you're here to learn, and yes, I'm going to teach you how to teach your dog to walk properly, but it's going to take a while. So I would really probably encourage you, if you have some difficulty, to look into a prong collar. If you would like to learn more about them, stay afterwards class, and I'll definitely help you. Also, if there's anything that you want to ask me about after class, please just stay in your seat after class, and I'll come around and we can answer questions, okay? All right, so up behind this young lady here that I'm going to introduce in a minute is a board. My goal for you guys is to go over at least 8 to 10 new behaviors by the time the 4 weeks is over. So this is the hard part about teaching a group class. I have 4 weeks to turn you guys into mini dog trainers. I've been doing this for, I think, almost 30 years. I kind of lost track about a couple years ago. So I have to take as much knowledge as I can and put it down your throat in 4 weeks. So I don't expect you guys to glean everything. I don't expect you guys to take everything home. So I really like questions. If there's anything that I'm not clear on, or there's anything that I'm going too fast, or there's just something you just don't understand, please raise your hand, ask a question, stay afterwards. I also videotape all of my class sessions. I put them on my Facebook page. This way you can go back and you can say, okay, hey, what was that? Or hey, what did he say again? And you can actually watch yourself doing it again. And you can, if you miss a week, you can also revisit it also and catch up, okay? If you do miss a week, I do offer a makeup class. You can just give me a call and say, hey, I need to make up a class and we'll work something out. I'll let you sit in on a future class. I really want you guys to get as much out of this class as possible. Okay, with that said, statistically, by the time 4 weeks are up, half of you guys are not gonna be here, okay? I know it's a little harsh, and the reason being is I found out that a lot of people have misunderstanding of dog training. They think that this is going to be overnight, where you can turn on the TV, you can watch Cesar Millan, and Cesar Millan will show you instant results in 30 minutes. He takes this dog and he just does these amazing. It doesn't work like that. First of all, I don't encourage you to watch Cesar Millan. He knows nothing about dog training. Second, dog training takes months, weeks, sometimes years to work. Yes, there are some things that you'll see quick results on. There's other things that take a lot of work. So with that said, I don't care if your dogs don't do really well in the class. Okay, I know that seems really weird. I want you guys to glean the information. In fact, I would love to have group classes with no dogs coming. Okay, the reason being is, one, you guys are less stressed about what your dog's gonna do and not gonna do. Two, you can pay attention more. And three, you can bring it home and apply it to your dog. Your dog's not in an environment like this is stressed. This is kind of difficult on your dog. This is like taking this young girl over there. I think she's what, 3, 2? How old is your daughter? 4, sorry. This is like taking their daughter to Disneyland and asking her to learn 1 + 1, okay? In Disneyland, how hard would that be for her, okay? Even though you're not, you know, your dog's actually doing really good, this is a lot for your dogs, okay? So if you leave class and you're like, oh, my dog embarrassed me, my dog didn't do really good, okay? That's not what I care. I care that you glean the information. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so these are my 2 friends who are gonna be helping us tonight. This is Diana, okay? And this is Christina, okay? Christina has a little bit of a, how do you want me to explain that, Christina?
I just had oral surgery.
Thank you.
So I need to keep my mouth covered for
I always explain it wrong. So if I am busy and or we're
I'm sick, I won't.
if we break and we're working with our dogs and they come around, if you have any questions, I'm busy, please by all means grab them. They're here to help. Okay. All right. So tonight we are going to go through. We're actually going to go through about 5 different things. Okay, but the 5th thing is not up there. So the first thing we're going to talk about is engagement. Engagement in dog training. Can anybody tell me anything that comes to mind when I talk about engagement? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Paying attention, okay. Anything else? Okay. Do what? Communicating. Okay, that could be one thing. So to me, engagement is a frame of mind. I'm putting the dog in a certain frame of mind. If you can take anything from this class, build a relationship with your dog. Okay, what I mean by building a relationship with your dog is if your training is based on negative reinforcement, okay? If your training is based on forcing the dog, what kind of relationship that would be? And we can apply this to a little humanistic point of view. If a man and woman are married and the man for a week did not talk to his wife, what would the wife think automatically? What the hell did I do, right? Okay, and I want to figure out what I did. But what happens if that husband brought home flowers every day to his wife and chocolates every day for a week? What would the wife be thinking? What did he do? Yeah, what did he do, right? But she'd be thinking, wow, I really like this, okay? And she's probably more likely to maybe fix his favorite dinner, pick up his favorite beer, okay? It's a laying relationship, foundation for a relationship. So your dog is much the same way. Obedience is super easy. It's easy to teach your dog to sit. It's easy to teach your dog to down. But engagement in the relationship really is what takes more time. So engagement is basically getting your dog ready to learn. I'm going to use my friend Christina here. She's going to help me out here. So I do a lot of role playing. The reason why I do role playing is 2 different reasons. One, if I bring my dog in here, I can't help you guys because I will be paying attention to my dog. When I'm working with my dog, nothing else matters. I am advocating for my dog. I am paying attention to my dog. My dog is everything. So I'd be unfair to my dog and unfair to my training. So I do that. 2, I use a little role playing to kind of help you guys understand what I'm talking about. So I'm going to be Christina's dog. Okay, she's out in the park, and I'm kind of over here, and I'm kind of sniffing this dog over here.
Jason!
Hey, Mom. Hey, how you doing? Okay. Hey, how you doing? Hey, yeah, I hear you. Okay. So where's my engagement right now? Hey, how you doing? How you doing? At the other dog, right? How many times did she call me? 3. Did I come?
No.
Okay, you know what she just did? She robbed herself. She just basically told me that she has no way to enforce the come, and I have no reason or want to come to her. Why? Because she means nothing to me. Now, she could have me on a really long leash, and she could tell me to come, and she could yank me. Oh, jeez. Okay, fine, I'm here. Okay, and she can do that for a couple months, let's say a couple weeks later. Okay, I know what's gonna happen, I'm gonna get yanked, okay? Now, we're at a store, I jump out of the car, she opens up the door, I jump out of the car, I'm running around. Screw you. There's no way I wanna come to you. Okay, why? Because she relied on the leash to force me to do it, okay? So forcing the dog to do something is not engagement. It's forcing. The moment you don't have that leash on the dog, now the dog uses its brain, says, wait a minute, I have choices here, okay? So this is what engagement is, okay? We're gonna start with a handful of food, okay? I'm kind of